up with the city in terms of looking at all of our assets, as well as we would hope with you folks in regards to, we duplicate many of our facilities, and again, working together as we develop that plan. Within the facility, we're looking at a potential physical fitness walkway. Again, those are very popular, and again, our clientele is not only our students, but also we're looking at the total family up to our older population. Again, some collaboration, as you would witness with the pool and the hospital, we would be looking at that type of collaboration. Also, what's of very large interest, because again, we are involved in the county master plan, is particularly if we're looking at the streets of Cherry, Murphy, and then also Maple, the potential of a walkway situation where it's safe for pedestrian bikers in regards to looking at our campus combining it with 12th Street and that bigger picture. Again, as we looked at this project, we also added another piece, is that the track is not only a physical fitness type of situation for all ages, but also an economic developer drawing people to the community. And I live in the township, the Meadowwood area, so I know that's low density growth. And again, if we complete our area and we are able to tie into pedestrian walkways in this particular four-corner area, and then internal trails, that would attract more people to that low density growth in terms of the potential of development. And again, we have the ability through 12th Street, all the pieces are there to tie into the rural walking grid for a larger trail system that may be potentially proposed by the county. So again, what we would do is we would ask, again, we're going to come to you continually as updating you on the project, but also in the future, look towards a group involving the township and looking at that four-corner situation and seeking a master plan with our master plan and tied into the county, and then also looking at the potential of seeking grant funding. And again, it opens up a lot of possibilities for our community. So right now, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Stoneman, who will take over here.
All right.
Thank you.
Try to respect your time, just a little bit more on the track project. We've raised over $500,000. We have about $250,000 related to forestry and the sale of a building that the school district possessed. That was about $250,000, and we've raised over $250,000 more. It looks like from our designer, we can get an 8-lane track, a fence around it in line for just over $500,000. So we're right at the threshold for moving forward and putting this track down. We have a pamphlet, I think you see where it is located behind the school. Seems to be the most efficient place for that to be located at this time. Centennial Park track was part of the scope, but there was just not enough room for an 8-lane track up there where that track currently exists. So that's the current update with the track. We look forward to putting bid materials back out to the market in November, January timeframe. As Mr. Jaski said, we thought we might be able to start that in the late summer, but the market just did not produce the numbers for our bids that we put out for us to be in the neighborhood to afford that. So but we're still confident with the numbers that we have and look forward to that process moving forward. Are there any questions related to the track? Okay, I have just a quick update for you. And you'll see me annually, is my plan. I have some Manistee Community Pool utilization numbers. And we're talking about collaboration today, and this is just a prime and perfect example of collaboration, and that this is very successful for the township and the overall community. And what you have on the front is year-to-date utilization. I have a couple extra copies if anybody would like to see that. So you can see you are the second line, and you can see the history of the utilization of the pool. And just a couple of asterisks there. Data issue result of loss of approximately 50%. We had a little logging glitch in 2014. So those numbers don't represent true numbers. It just represents the numbers that we had before. There seemed to be a glitch in the accounting process for that. Filer Township and the City of Manistee contribute contributions based on $6 per resident. And residents of Filer Township and the City of Manistee receive a 50% discount on user fees. Just a reminder of those. On the back side of this is a quick spreadsheet related to expenditures and then income. So the top half of group 1 is the income. And you can see the contributing members there and how the money is raised and received. And group 2 is the expenditures. So for the numbers, this has been a successful collaboration, and we look forward to better fostering our relationships with our townships and our partners. And by doing that, is communicating to you like I am today. If there's any information that the township needs, besides what I've given you here today, just let me know. And you see that we have a little bit of a fund balance there, and we'll be working on the air handling units and some other mechanical things that need to be upgraded and maintained as the pool gets a little bit older. We have some maintenance that is required. So we have a little bit of money related to those expenditures. Again, I can't say thank you enough to the members of the township for working with us. So thank you very much to everyone in the township for supporting this. This is a true collaboration.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Public comment. Any public comment?
Tom Boss from Virginia Island, Pine Ridge. I have a few questions related to timing of events on this sewer project going forward. Maybe you could, if you know the answers, provide them tonight. First question is, has the township run out bid specifications yet for the sewer project?
No, we're not.
Do you have any idea when that will occur?
No definite date in mind, Tom. Hope to this fall.
So you can't tell me when the bids will be due because we haven't run out yet. Do you have a date in mind for the second public hearing, like the one we had on August 17th?
Not at this time. All I can tell you is we want to get it scheduled as soon as we can. We do have a conference call tomorrow.
And you have to have those bids received in order to do that hearing, right? Because that's a hearing
We've
to
got to be
provide
able to
updated costs.
provide the costs. That's right.
At that second hearing, is that when you will determine the boundaries of the special assessment district, or will that take place after the hearing?
It will probably take place after.
And my last question is, what is the status on an easement from Pine Ridge if in fact you decide to include us, if you pursue an easement yet or not?
Not to my knowledge, has there been any new discussions between our attorney and the board, BOA? Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, then moving into item A, I got your monthly plan report from Wade Trim and water usage. The job that they completed. I found it very interesting to note that our water usage continues to go up on a monthly basis over 2015. I guess I find that a little bit surprising just from what I hear from other municipalities in terms of water usage going down somewhat, but at any rate, you've got that report there. Also, under the water department, we have the proposal from jet pump and valve that we need to approve. That was dated August 2nd, 2016, and as you recall, I discussed with a number of you the need to do that prior to this board meeting because of the fact that this company is going to be in the community doing some work for PCA and having them do our job at the same time. We were able to save what was it, about $800 and some. It would have been $4,402 had we had them come back after this meeting for approval. So they have completed that work. We just need to approve that cost at $3,597.
Make a motion, we approve this. Because you gotta get it done.
Okay, we have a motion by Dean Cruz, support by Brian Cruz to approve this bill submitted by Jet Valve. Any further questions or discussion on that? Shirley, would you call the roll, please?
Walker,
Yes.
Dean Cruz,
Yes.
Paul, yes, Kaczynski,
Yes.
Garrett, yes, Malinowski,
Yes.
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Okay, item B is the fire department report on.
The month of August, we had 33 total calls for service, 24 of those were medical, 3 electricists, 1 auto crash, 1 search and rescue, 1 grass fire, 1 false alarm, 1 gas odor, and 1 disabled vehicle. Members of our department, on this team, worked with Madison County Sheriff's Office up in Cleon Township, right in monitoring and providing medical support. We're 26 hours right along with the Sheriff's Office. This is done at no cost whatsoever to the township. We were not paid, and we didn't use any equipment from the township other than we drove our Humvee up there and back at the time. That was the only thing that we used. I know you heard some about it, and I know you're probably going to hear more about it at your MTA meeting, but we need to you guys need to really deal with this aggressively because it was people from 4 or 5 miles away here. And while if you look at our township, it looks like, well, we don't have a place you can do that, but we do. It's amazing what, money offers can do as far as leasing property. One of a very good place to hold a concert, maybe not quite that big. You could do that at one of the golf courses, or they could buy a golf course. The amount of money that they're bringing in and spreading around is pretty impressive. So, that might be something, as far as a large gathering ordinance or whatever, they determine the best way to handle that and, this year, or this month, we had or in August, we had the Father Credit Union PCA 5K run. Even though it rained in the morning, they raised $1,550. That was being sure they put it into our fund balance. We would like to use that money to purchase 3 laptop computers to replace those that we have that will not upgrade to Windows 10. And right now we're using people's personal computers to come in and operate our training equipment, the projector and those items that go with it. We have a new applicant, Alexis Ingwall. She's a resident of 25th Street. She's interested in joining the department. Seems to be a good candidate. Her parents are also living in the township. We'd like to put her on the roster. We completed our self-contained breathing apparatus flow testing. Everything is up to date, good condition. We only had a couple issues that they repaired. Nothing major. And then, we also have October 21st will be the annual FTA conference, Emerging Issues in Emergency Services. I'd like to send 4 officers to that. We have a total of 6 officers, and we would be sending 4 to that in October. Our cost is $101, same as all the MTA conferences, plus the lodging for 30 days. Also not appearing on your report, but something that's come in, the Lieutenant Falk from the Sheriff's Office put in a grant request to the Revenue Sharing Board that was supported by the fire departments and law enforcement. And they have purchased all brand new defibrillators for all the fire departments, 2 for each department, and 1 for each police car in the county. We'll be putting those into service in the next couple of weeks. We'll be having classes on those. So that was great. That saved us about $2,000 having to replace them on our own. Our old AED, which is the defibrillator, was purchased and given to us by West Shore Medical Center. They do not want it back because it's a little old, and they would not be able to get any value out of them. I would like to donate that, with your permission, to the DFW. Every year they have the vocal parties and stuff and other events, and it seems that every year we have 1 or 2 cardiac arrests that take place there. And they were interested in the AED, and I think that would be a good use for this one. The only requirement for us would be to have Richard Wilson's office write up an agreement releasing us of any liability for it, or for any of the equipment that defibrillators had and stuff that they would need to have, that we wouldn't be responsible for any of that. So I guess if we go back to the start, I think my first request is that we hired Alexis Ingwall to the fire department. We are losing 2 more firefighters whose parents lived down south. Their property was hit by a tornado, caused significant damage, and they are moving back down south so that they can assist their parents with repairs to the property, and I'll take care of them back there. So I would like to add her to the...
Is she a trainee?
Yes, she'd be a probationary. She would take the EMR class in January, become medical, and then fire class the next year when they have that.
So she's hiring in as fire firefighter 1.
She would come in as a probationary firefighter.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and put her on.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, we have a motion by Kalinowski, support by Cruz, Dean Cruz, to put Alexis Engwall on the fire department roster. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. We have to replace the computers. We have that $1,550 that we got, and we're do another fundraiser, and we may very well be able to, the auxiliary may pay the balance of that. But as of right now, I'd like to order the portion of that would go back to the township would be about $500. It would come out of our budget. But it will replace all three of our current laptops. And what we've done is we've cut back on we had a couple old ones that we used. One of them was for Windows XP that doesn't function at all anymore. So what we're doing is we're having the chief will have a computer, the assistant chief will have a computer, but that one will also be available to the other officers. And then we have one that we put in the training area that where everyone uses to do their medical reports and the fire reports to the federal government. Those are required by state and federal law. We don't have much choice. And then that one computer would also be available when we have training done by someone either outside the department or by one of the firefighters that's on the department, separate from one of the officers. We are starting to do more and more of that in order to keep more of our personnel trained and interested, and to do some teaching, continuing education for the firefighters. So I'd like to be able to purchase those 3 computers from Jack.
Ron, if you said you'd be having another fundraiser, you need to raise, $490 to...
Right, we would.
Did you anticipate being able to raise that, I guess, is my question?
Yes.
Your fundraiser?
Our goal is to raise more than that. Last year, the auxiliary raised over $2,000 in our paddle auctions that we use to purchase medical diagnosing equipment that we carry in our truck. And that the auxiliary paid for that equipment. The township or the fire department did not. I think that was $2,400 out of that would have had to come out of our budget. That didn't, because the auxiliary paid for that.
And then I have a question too on Windows 10. I don't know, we're on what, Windows 7 here? Sure.
I have Windows 7.
Yeah, that's what I have. And I have Windows 7 at home, and I know I've got a number of pop-ups to upgrade to Windows 10, both at home and on the laptop here. And everything I've heard from everybody is don't go to Windows 10.
You don't go to Windows 10 with an
Well,
old computer.
I'll agree with that.
Oh, okay, it's just with an old computer. I thought they had issues with it, and I just was gonna make sure you checked that out.
Well, they won't upgrade. We tried to upgrade them, and then that's creating with the training videos, the training discs for firefighting that we use. We're having issues with that. Logan Spirit did a residential ventilation class 2 weeks ago, and it wouldn't run on our computer. He had to bring his computer, his laptop from home, and then it would run on that.
So everything you run will be okay with Windows 10? Any software that you have there that is going to conflict with Windows 10?
Is what?
Do you have any software that won't run on Windows 10?
No.
Any software you're currently using?
Right, well, right, because when we buy the computers, this includes the upgrade for Office
Okay.
and for doing PDF files. That price that we have includes that. So we won't be trying to use the old software on the new computers.
But none of the reports that you have to run. for
No,
the
there won't
federal
be any
government or
issues.
state
We
government.
do, yeah, that's all done through, I don't know how they do it, through the state of Michigan and Lansing. We run reports through there, and then we do them through Washington DC. We connect by the internet and do all the fire reports. So every report that we do, all the fire reports have to go to Washington, and then the medical reports have to go to Lansing, but, so they also have to go to Washington. So medical reports actually get done twice. And the state government and the federal government won't talk to each other. Is what they do.
Is there any value to the old computers?
No, and the issue with that is we've been advised that any of our computer, because we still have some old PC towers in our station, and we've been told that anytime that we change computers, we need to pull the hard drives out and drill holes in them because they have medical information from emergency medical calls. And even though you wipe it, they say that
No.
they still may be able to gather information from that.
It would take another 5 seconds.
You have to have a professional take the data off there. We've done that before we got rid of them.
So again, that, we did get that $1,550, and right at the moment, we have to contribute $490, but we'll be asking the auxiliary to reimburse that.
I make a motion that we pony up the money, but, they make any on this drive.
Use that.
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Okay, we have a motion by Brian Cruz, support by Dean Cruz, to okay the purchase of the 3 new laptop computers at a cost of $2,040, using the $1,550 that was raised on the 5K run, and future proceeds, fundraisers making up the balance of the $490 if possible. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And the last thing is the FGA conference. We move that every year. It's very interesting and very enlightening. Fills us in on the new laws, especially this year. Emergency medical services is going to be a big issue. The state of Michigan is making big changes in emergency medical response in the state of Michigan. So we're not sure exactly how that's all going to play out. There's big changes at Western Medical Center as well. And that's related to that same thing, so we're not sure how that's going to play out. They have an expert coming to that. Instead of sending all of the officers, we want to send 4 officers. We also have at least one firefighter who's going to go. He's going to pay his own. So it'll be $101 plus lodging for the floor.
And there's an invitation there for Mr. Cruz or any other board member who would like to attend.
Or any board member, they always ask that board members attend as well. So so if any of you are interested in coming to that at all, it's very, very interesting. If you're,
What's the deadline on reservations for that, Ron?
the early registration is by October 7th.
October 7th. I I might be interested in attending that, but if I do, I would pay my own way to it. I asked the board to, or the fire department, so, but I'll check my calendar. You can check your calendar.
I'll check
if you're
mine,
interested.
you know.
I will get it.
But I'll check it real quick.
Yeah.
I make the motion, there should be a
I'll second.
Motion by Dean Cruz, support by Tom, to approve the 4 officers of the fire department attending the MTA conference in Lincoln on October 21st at a cost of $101 plus lodgings, or $101 per member plus lodging. Any other discussion?
Well, the biggest thing is the changes that we're getting. We gotta keep our fire department up on.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Thank you very much. One other item, is I know that a couple other people are questioning, there's one item that we were going to purchase from Jack Pine. After I talked to Lynn last week, I talked to Jack Pine, and we had a misunderstanding in what exactly the catalog said, because I read the catalog, and he read the catalog on the other end of the phone, and we had 2 different ideas, so that was canceled.
Demand sorter.
Okay, that's,
Yep.
the mail sorter. I was wondering about that.
Thank you very much.
So that was canceled, you're saying?
That's canceled, yes. It's, what it actually was is it's, we have a mail slot for each person. If they're not there, we put paperwork in there for them. And that's what that was. It wasn't, but it turned out to be not what I thought it was.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
Yep.
C, Office of the Zoning Administrator, you've got your report from Lynn in your packet. And a fair amount of activity going on, as you can see. Item D is the Planning Commission. You've got the minutes of their public hearing from August 16th, as well as their regular meeting minutes. And we have a resolution to approve concerning division of pilot lot pursuant to Chapter 36. And I don't know, Shirley, you want to shed a little light on that?
Well, the vouchers of village plan for a lot split on these lots here in this, that are shown in this resolution. And the planning commission held a public hearing on it. There was no written comments or verbal comments in opposition or for. So the next step is to bring it to this board for a vote.
And why did they want this split? I was looking at the survey and it was kind of interesting.
Well, if we go back to the public hearing,
I read that, but it wasn't.
This is written by Walsh's house.
yes. She didn't include the copy of the original request. So, absent having that in front of me, I wouldn't want to venture a guess.
Someone buying one of the houses and it's only one line of rough.
Well, reading the description of it and looking at the survey certificate, and, where it shows the division, just raised a few questions. The planning commission is did approve that and is recommending that the board approve that. So I guess I will make a motion that we approve the presented resolution.
I'll second that.
Motion by Walker, supported by Brian Cruz, to approve the resolution. Sure, we want to do a roll call.
Dean Cruz,
Yeah.
Brian Cruz,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Ball, yes, Kalinowski,
Yes.
Jazinski,
Yeah.
Mira, yes.
Okay, item E is the Building and Grounds Committee report, and one of the things that was discussed at the Building and Grounds was the need to have the 2111 Nelson Street property surveyed, which we presented to the board last month, and the board approved that, and I just want to let you know that I finally got an email with a quote from Pat Bentley from Spicer Group. I put a copy of that in front of each of you there so you can see what that includes. Item F is the PEG Commission report. And we're still looking for new members. You don't help me out. Are you still on? You're not on
No.
the PEG Commission?
I'm still,
Is there anything you want to report on that's not in your written report?
yeah, basically, that we are down 3 members. We're supposed to be a 7-person commission. And we are supposed to also have at least 1 member from Father Township. And hopefully we can get that resolved pretty soon. Also getting many shows from the recordings from this summer's events, mostly musical programs, and also some sporting events. We hope to show those in the winter and make people wish that it was summer again. And other than that, we have some replacement DVD players because the other ones kind of wore out after 12 years. But I think they got their money's worth out of those tape decks. Anyways, and so now we have all the machines are working like they're supposed to again. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's about all I have. Anyone have any questions?
Keith, your bylaws require a member from Father Township. Does that have to be from the township board, or can it be a Father resident?
A Father resident, yeah. Has to be human.
We have had, appoint these members with a starting date of their term and an ending date. And we have advertising, we need to advertise for our unexpired term again.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to about having to advertise for DDA position again, and probably throw
We'll
in.
do it all.
Do it all, building and grounds too, at the same time, so. Okay, item G, DDA, and I don't know what happened, but you do not have, or at least I do not have minutes of the July DDA board meeting in my packet. If you don't have those and want to see them, I can get you copies, let me know. I wasn't aware that I didn't have that until just before the DDA meeting.
Were they passed out tonight?
They were passed out tonight. the DDA meeting, yes.
Well, they never got here during the fact
Or, I'm sorry, no, they weren't passed out, they were,
They were
came
about-
via email, they came from Tampa via email, so I did see the email. I think maybe yesterday they came, I don't know, but I just on the other side, something that Tammy maybe missed. Okay, sewer project, I guess I'll just share with you that we do have a conference call tomorrow at 11 o'clock between Richard, Eric Williams, Brian Sousa, Pat McGow, Tom Tracy, and myself. One of the things we'll be discussing is the new requirement from DEA for our R&I in the sewer project contracts as opposed to 2012. It was 13,000 something per year dedicated to R&I for a period of 10 years, and now they require 25,000 for the length of the contract, 40 years. But I had some discussion with Brian about that, and he was going to raise some questions with Blake Smith on that as to whether, because we're operating the date of the loan obligation in 2012, that we should still be required to make those provisions under that date. And then also we have in our language, in our agreement with the city, the provision where we're putting 5,000 per year in for our R&I up to 50,000, and then when it reaches that, we stop, and when it gets below 40,000, we start putting that in again. So I haven't heard back from Brian on that in regard to this discussion with Blake Smith, but I'm sure I'll hear about it tomorrow. And then also want to share with you, I got a call last week from DEQ and the SAW grant that we applied for in 2013. We're in the fourth round now. Ours is being awarded, and I played phone tag with her for about 3 days and finally reached her. And whether or not we get that, it's dependent, hinges upon the original language, that the way the grant was written, what it was to be used for. And after talking with Brian about it, and then he had a discussion with this gal, even though those bills have already been paid, we did spend more than that amount in those categories, so that he's saying we should go ahead and apply for it, that it should be approved. So, and if you recall, that was a $25,000 grant, 10% was matching, so we'll have to, which we've already done, provided $2,500 of that. And the $23,500 from the state.
I looked up the SAW grant today, it was for the design.
Right, design.
So there's got to be more design.
Planning.
In the planning.
Yeah.
Right, that's what the,
So,
one to check out.
Yeah, and we have spent
Yes.
that kind of money already, and we'll have more to spend, but there's already been that amount spent, so we will go ahead and apply for that. Hi, Tony update. Martin.
Well, good evening. Thank you for allowing me time on your agenda tonight. What I want to do is talk about a few things that are going on in the county that I think provide a little more detail. You may know about some of these things already, but I want to give you a little bit of an update. The major activity of the Manistee County Board is really the budget right now. And the budget for fiscal year October 1 to 2016 through September 30 of 2017 was approved at our board meeting on August 16, 2016. The budget for this coming fiscal year is $10,983,512. This is a balanced budget. I'm a fiscal conservative. I think you probably know that. And so I'm looking at a balanced budget every year. And in the 4 years that I've served so far as your representative, it's been a balanced budget. And that's working with basically a flat increase in tax revenues. So we've had to work pretty closely to keep that in a balanced budget and still address all the needs that occur in the county. So I'm very happy about that. The other item that I wanted to mention too is that, and you're aware of this too, I'm sure, is the Manistee County Park and Recreation Plan has been completed and approved by the state. And we only have one other entity that has not approved that county plan yet. And one of the things I wanted to mention to you, you're probably aware of this, is the 13th Annual Regional Summit is going to be September 15th at 7:30 a.m. until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And the morning session is going to be primarily spent on the county Parks and Recreation Plan. And so it's an opportunity for the township, other townships, local communities to discuss what they'd like to see, how they'd like that implemented, and just what we can do in terms of that plan. So if you haven't got a registration in, please do. There's still going to be seats available. The other item that I want to bring up to date with you, and I'm sure you're aware of some of this, I don't know if you know all the details, but all of you, I'm sure, are aware that the county has entered into agreement with Munson Medical Center to sell West Shore Hospital to Munson. But I don't know if you know all the details on it. I want to provide those with you today. First off, the county is going to receive $1.5 million in this sale. And at this point in time, the board is looking at using those funds to reduce our unfunded liabilities. And they're substantial. And what do you mean by unfunded liabilities? It's primarily pensions and what we call OPEB, or other post-employment benefits. So we're looking at using a good portion of those funds to bring that down. Munson is also going to provide $1.5 million to the West Shore Hospital Foundation. And so with that kind of money, they'll be doing more things. They'll still do fundraising, but there might be greater opportunity for applications, projects that still are of a medical nature, but may assist in the community on a broader scale than what we can. So that's another very positive element in this sale. The other is that Munson will continue the ambulance service. That's a six-figure item too that they'll be taking on. And Munson is also paying off $7 million in debt, which was held by West Shore Hospital and which was guaranteed by the county. So that will disappear. And then Munson will also make a $25 million investment in West Shore Hospital for 5 years. So we're very happy about this because what it means is we're going to have a better medical center here in our community. And it's going to be financially very, very stable. It's been very financially stable too. As you're probably aware, the feds are pushing to have more consolidation with hospitals. And so it was important and it was presented to us on many occasions that we needed to be looking at joining with larger operations. And Munson, we've had a long time relationship, the hospital, West Shore Hospital, with Munson, and very happy with how Munson operates. So we're feeling good about that. Munson Medical Center was recently recognized by U.S. News and World Report as one of the top 5 hospitals in Michigan. No small thing. And Munson was also ranked 48th in the nation for cardiology and heart surgery. That's very good too. There's 5,000 hospitals that were in this survey. So all in all, I think we're going to have enhanced medical facilities here, which not only is good for our current citizens, But as we all know, if you want to attract business and people, you better have good medical facilities too. You don't have that. So that's my report, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I'm running for re-election. Certainly would appreciate your support. And thank you. Any questions about the county or anything? Thank you again.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Okay, under new business, item A, we have consideration of approval to present regional resource recovery project resolution, included in your packet. I know it was talked about at the clerk's countywide meeting, and it was also discussed 2 months ago at the supervisors' MCA meeting, and the information is there. I think it's something I'd like to see us approve and do, just because as stewards of this planet, we need to be thinking about the ways that we can reduce the amount of waste going into landfills and so forth. So I hope you've taken the time to read the information over. If not, if you need more time, just say so. We can do that.
Well, you can have Sarah Archer come and talk to you too.
Or she said she would be willing to come to our October meeting. She'd be available then if you wanted to have her come.
There were
and
questions.
explain this more.
There were questions as to how much is it going to cost, and they're not seeing dollars associated with this at this point. They're only seeing the commitment of manpower.
Right.
So, and there is no site chosen for any of this at this point.
At this point, it would be mainly support and then providing data, gathering data, that sort of thing.
One thing, and the treasurers were in on that too, and one thing I don't remember her saying is that when we could get out of it, we decided we didn't want to go forward.
Yeah, there is an escape clause in there, but I don't recall.
I know that the county commissioners talked about that, sir, and the board accepted that resolution, right?
Right.
County commissioners.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I knew that.
And I'm not sure if any of the other townships have passed this resolution yet or not, you know, Mark?
I do not.
I
I think there's two that have, but I'm not
yeah,
positive.
I think a couple have.
Yeah. Maybe support the medical problem, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It just seemed like some of the clerks in attendance are, said that they have. I do believe Maple will.
To hear her presentation.
I'm quite sure there's two, but I'm remiss in remembering which two counties, or
Yeah.
townships were.
Brian, what did you?
I'd like to hear her presentation.
Is she going to be speaking at the summit or?
No, I'm not sure.
Well, she probably didn't board, would you prefer to wait? Let's have her, invite her to come October meeting date, or October board meeting. Okay, I will. October 4th, okay. I will contact her and ask her to.
What's a different kind of
I
recycling?
don't know if I had some more questions. Questions listed, and we could ask her questions.
Sure. It's the kind of recycling, the example given was a mattress. And there's a lot of contents in a mattress that could be used again. old mattress and pull it apart, maybe the springs and metal could be used, or the stuffing could be used, if that's the kind of a sound that this would be.
So have jot down your questions before we review this information. Mr. Archer, and jot down any questions you can have, and we'll get those answered at the October meeting. Okay, item B is consideration of approval of the presented wage term operations services agreement. And you've got that in your packet. I met with Chris Johnson and Brian Sousa about a month ago, and we discussed this, and basically we had a clause in our other agreement that if we didn't adopt a new agreement with them, we could extend the agreement for 1 year at the cost. The way they figure the cost is it's explained there on the first page.
The same as the previous 2013 agreement 4 years ago. Here in the middle.
Remain flat during the extension.
Yeah, this is going to remain flat, but under the old agreement, it would not have remained flat. It would have been, it's the percent change in the CPI from the previous year plus 1%. The example they give on page 15 in appendix F of the contract was, if the percent increase in CPI was 3.24%, then our cost would increase 4.34%. They're saying on the first page here, the new agreement October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2020, they've changed the dates, and then under Appendix F, Section F.1, the fee has been changed to reflect the 2016 fee, so it would remain flat for 2017, and then we would sign a new 3-year agreement with them. We've been doing 3-year agreements, and in the new 3-year agreement, the first 2 years of that agreement will remain flat also, no increase. And in the 3rd year of that agreement, so we're looking at 4 years out, there would be, this increase would be figured the same way it's been figured on our previous contracts.
So we're getting several years of.
So we're getting a 4-year contract, basically with an increase in the 4th year at the rate that we've been getting annually in our old contract. So
I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
I think it's a good deal.
So
I would make the motion that we accept.
Second that motion.
okay, we have a motion by Dean Cruz, support by Skira to approve the presented wage term operations services agreement. Any other discussion on this? Questions?
What's the cost?
What is our current cost? Monthly is $7,300, I think it is.
That's that, Jim.
87,780 annual.
Yeah. We've been paying for the past year $7,315 per month. It's an annual $87,780 agreement.
That's the basic.
That's right. That's what we're currently paying, and this will remain flat for the next 3 years. No increase. Okay, Shirley, you want to call the roll?
Ball, yes.
Item C is consideration of approval of request made by Susan Wilson to donate and install a foot memorial bench with a plaque on it at McGinnick Park in memory of Ned Atkins. And you have the information in the packet.
It looks like it's gonna be a little bit north of where our scout put the,
Yeah.
on the map here. Quite a bit north of where Ed's memorial is at.
That's a good idea.
Is it similar in looks? No, I don't think not, because I think the scout one was wood, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Scotland's benches were treated wood. This will be more like the
Yeah.
two that are already there.
It's gonna last a long time.
Yeah.
100% recycled plastic.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Brian Drew, supported by Kalinuski to approve the request made by Susan Wilson to donate and install a 8-foot memorial bench with plaque at McGinnick Park in memory of Ned Atkins. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And item D is consideration of approval of presented purchasing and competitive bid policy. And that policy really spells things out pretty clearly. We go about,
Did we have a bid policy before?
No.
we didn't really have a policy to cover all aspects of, this pretty much covers everything.
The reason we have to do this is because of the grant that Ron wrote for the,
Yeah.
and have to be part of
Thank
it.
you.
We have to let
Sorry.
them know. We have to let-
No, it's a good thing, really.
That's a good thing, though.
Good to have
So
that.
we'll be calling Lori tomorrow and telling her if this passes.
So purchase over 10,000 and the board is involved.
Well, there's other steps too.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I'm just saying the other two are,
Yeah.
I read those.
over 10,000, yeah, we have to have sealed competitive bids. Which a lot of that we've been doing.
Even for a lot less than that.
Yeah, but we just have to have a policy in place.
I'll make a motion to adopt the purchase bid policy.
A second.
Okay, motion by Kaczynski, support by Scarra to approve the presented purchasing competitive bid policy. Any other discussion, questions? Shirley, you want to call the roll, please?
Wall, yes. Sierra? Yes. Ron Cruz?
Yes.
Kalinuski?
Yes.
Dean Cruz?
Yep.
Jacinski?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes. Okay, public comment. Any public comment? Okay, then any other business come before the board tonight? Tom, you have anything?
Nothing other than I hope we got our Christmas decorations, the consumer forum was working on power. They told me today that they were completed, so hopefully every plug is gonna work this year.
And I did get a call from Mark Lothrop telling me that they had completed that work, and just to check, because, you know, whenever that was, a year or two ago, we had a map of all the streetlights that were numbered, and I sent that to Mark Lothrop when we had all the issues with the streetlights and the receptacles. gave all the numbers and so on and so forth. And Tom checked one of the poles today across from his house, and they have them numbered, and they do correspond with the numbers on that map. And Mark also told me that, so from that, I'm assuming that, you know, because I gave him the list of all, there were a lot of them that weren't functioning properly. And so with that, we're assuming that they got them all done, but he did say that they have extra outlets in stock and extra material, so that if we run into any issues, let them know right away. So they've got plenty of practice now on replacing those and doing repairs, so that sounds good. Brian, do you have anything else? Yeah, I'll mention that.
Okay, no,
Sure. Yeah, Dean? Okay, just two things then, and I put them in front of you. One, what Brian just mentioned, the complaint from the Father Credit Union, the VFW Post. Actually, Lynn sent out a letter concerning that last week. So I was kind of tipped off that we were going to be getting this complaint, and so Lynn did take pictures and send a letter. So that's in the works. And then the other thing I want to mention, I put in front of you, and I just got this email this afternoon from Pat Taylor concerning the speaker they have coming from the Michigan Municipal League regarding municipal finance reform. That will be on Wednesday, September 28th at 7 p.m. at the Ramsdale Theater. This would be a real good thing to attend, but they would like an RSVP by Wednesday, September 21st. So if you can make it, I'd love to see you there. This, I don't want to attempt to pronounce his last name because I'll probably butcher it, but Tony will discuss the history of revenue sharing, how the state has diverted more than $7.5 billion from local governments to use for their own needs, and the efforts to engage the state in a meaningful dialogue on changing the way local governments are financed. So that, again, will take place on Wednesday, September 28th at the Ramsdale Theater at 7 o'clock in the evening. If you can make it and would like to attend, please let Shirley know right away. She'll get an RSVP in for all of us. That needs to be done by September 21st, so let Shirley know right away if you would, please. And that's all I have. So